Can anybody see me? Anybody? Anyone?
Right, so I'm going to do a litter tray video today. Those of you that know the Binks don't know he's litter trained. But I'm going to show you how we did that, where his litter trays are and bits and pieces. But before I do that, I'll talk to you while I show you how I medicate Binky. Now I have this in my chest because I really don't want his claws scratching that away from my chest because that would be just awful. So I still medicate him myself, but this is how I do it. So I'll put this over there so that he can't scratch me. I get him. Hello. 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 And there he be. So he can't scratch me, but he's still comfortable. I think he's more comfortable actually. Yeah, are you tired? Were you sleeping? You've got to have your medicine, darling. If I do it into the camera, because then I can see what I'm doing still. Because I normally do it into the mirror. You are shedding, aren't you? So he has been litter trained since he was about... I got him at 6 weeks and 6 days. And I think he was litter trained by the time he was about 3 months old. So when we first got him, we followed him around with a dustpan. Because he was like a Malteser machine, weren't you? Let me give him his medicine. I know. I love you too. So he has his CBD. You just dip the syringe into the CBD, get a drop of it. Yeah. He knows what to do anyway. Yeah. I'm well shaky today. Take it. Good boy. Yeah. I think he quite likes the taste of it. Gone are the days of disguising it in pear. Yeah. You like it, I know. You're such a good boy. So that's that. That's the CBD done. I haven't upped his dosage yet in case his seizure was just a one-off. I don't want to be giving him too much. He likes this one. He goes for the chomp. Watch this. Want your favourite bits? Yeah. Mmm. And then you chew it, chew it, chew it. Yeah.
So good. So tasty. Come on, eat. 5 second rule.
Now the next bit. So he has 2 turns of the fiberplex. Yeah. Good boy. I do it in, you meant to turn it to ice and give it to them, but I give it in 2 parts because he's only tiny and that's a lot of fiberplex to be putting in his mouth. Shall we show how we do your litter boxes? So I did buy him bigger litter boxes. As you can tell from Binky's rolling videos in his soil, Binky likes to fit in very small places because he's comfortable. So I did give him another earth pot to roll in, but he wasn't keen on that. He wants to fit his big butt into a small soil pit and roll in it. But it's funny, isn't it, Binks? Yeah, you're just as crazy as Mum. You are, you're just as crazy. So the same with the litter boxes. He had small cat litter boxes as a baby because he was only tiny. Well, he still is only tiny, but he was really tiny. But I went to IKEA and I bought these big boxes for his litter boxes. So they weren't too high for him to jump in, but they were good and big. No, I put them down. What did he do? He sat next to them and pooed on the floor and ate the hay out the box. So he doesn't like big litter boxes. He likes his small litter boxes that he can stick his butt in. Are you going to say hi and go back to sleep? I woke him up, so he's not happy. Look at his face. What? I didn't mean to. I had to give you medicine. Are you going to tell another story soon? What? Isn't he lovely? He's so lovely. He's just a little snuggle bun. We love your mum. When I give him his medicine, I usually rub his back. And I think it was Marie that said to rub downwards, or wild edibles, to rub downwards in the way the stomach's going, just to help his tummy. the way the stomach was designed to go is down. Look at all this fur. He is shedding. I've never known a bunny shed as long as you. You should be a pinky bunny by now. Show them how you were litter trained. I personally think litter training Binky was easier than litter training Mushroom. And he never ever goes on the floor. What he does do is he likes Karen's bed, which is a bit of a problem. But that aside, he's pretty good. Thankfully you don't wee on my bed, do you? Because you sleep in my bed. That would be gross. So that's how I medicate him with the Hickman line in my chest, so that we don't have any disastrous accidents. Hey, to be fair, Binky doesn't scratch anyway. I can count on one hand how many scratches I've had off him, and that was when he was a baby and I was trying to pick him up and sort him out when he wasn't as tame as he is now. So he's not really a scratcher anyway. You've got fluff on your nose. He wasn't really a scratcher anyway, but look, his little paw, he just holds your hand. He's not a scratcher, and he's not a biter either. But just to be safe, I really don't want a Hickman line pulled out by a rabbit's claw. Hey, I would make a mess all over you too. Yes, it would. Let's go do litter boxes. Say bye, friends. You have so many friends. Is it because you're cute? Yeah, it's because you're cute. So these are his litter boxes. We have one there and we have one upstairs. When we first got Binky, he had one there, one in the dining room, one in the hallway, one in the kitchen, tumble dryer cupboard, shower room, landing upstairs, bedroom. He had a litter box wherever he was so that he didn't go on the floor, because he really was like a Malteser machine. So he's got the lid behind it, the plastic lid, because as I said, he likes to hang his bum over the edge and wee all over the floor. And then on the floor we've got the puppy pad. I don't know if the puppy pad needs changing. It looks alright to me. Yeah, the puppy pad's fine. He's doing quite good lately. He seems to be getting his wee in the box, because the puppy pad, for the last sort of 3 changes of these litter boxes, I haven't had to change that puppy pad, but it's there just in case. And then I have to make sure it's tucked under there so he can't find it, because he will eat it. Because Binky eats everything he's not allowed to eat. He's just naturally a chewer. Most rabbits are chewers, but Binky just takes it to the extreme. That lid there looks orange, but it is wiped. It's just stained, obviously, because he's peed on it so much. So his litter boxes, let's take those out and do them. But puppy pads from Pound Shop. We have quite a lot of the litter boxes, so we put some in soap while we're using the others. And put the puppy pad in. Make sure it's hidden, because he will chew it if he can find it. A lot of rabbits don't, but Binky will chew whatever. And he'll probably eat the pad instead of the hay. Not that he eats a lot of hay, but he does better than he was. We need to put the soil in. Just line it with soil. I don't like the sawdust because it stinks. When they wee on it, it smells like a hamster cage. So I just prefer to use the soil. I did used to use sawdust, but it just smells. Plus I do a lot of gardening, I like gardening, so I've always got soil at hand, whereas I'd have to go and get sawdust. But that's that. So the hay is kept in here in a linen basket. all at hand. And he has Peter Rabbit. That's what he'll eat. I've tried every single hay that there is, and that's the one he'll eat. So that's the one I give him. You put quite a lot in, so you can't get to the puppy pad. And that's the litter tray done. So bunnies don't smell, however, they do make an incredible mess. Because he needs hay. If you have a bunny, they need hay in front of them all the time, and if they're not hatched where the hay is, then you need to provide it wherever they are. So that's our life, hay on the chairs. But I wouldn't change it. It is what it is. Keeps Binky alive. The other chairs are okay, they're all clean. They're all cleaned off. Mushroom's chair's nice and clean, otherwise he gets hay stuck all over him. And then he gets up with hay all over his face, all over his bum. Because as you know, Mushroom's kind of part ragdoll, so he's really fluffy. Oh, are you being extra cute, Mushroom? Are you being extra cute for the camera? Mushroom. So yeah, other than the mess, they do not smell, do they, Binky? So Binky sits there, or here on this one, and Mushroom sits there. So they always like to be together, no matter where they are, they like to be together. So Binky really is a cabbit, aren't you, Binky? Yeah, and you don't much like hay anyway, do you? We have to make you eat it. Over here is all nice and tidy, because I tidied it all up. But over here never stays tidy, because that's where he sits. Look. So that was his litter boxes. To litter train, every time they go on the floor, you pick them up and put them in the litter box. Make sure you pick the poo up and put that in the litter box. Wherever their poo is, take it off the floor, put it back in the litter box, and put them in the litter box with it, and they will soon catch on that that's where they should be pooing. When I got Binky, the lady sent me home with a bag of his poo, so that I could put it in a little litter box, which was the cutest little triangle pink litter box, a corner litter box. It was so tiny. And she said the poo in the bag was his, put that into the litter box, and he will go in there to poo, because that's his own poo, and that's going to make him want to go and poo in the box. And it worked. So when he was out, because Binky was hutched for about a week, so when he actually came out of the hutch, I had to put the litter box wherever he was, like right by him, and I had to follow him around with a dustpan to pick up what he was doing, like a Malteser machine, and put it straight into the little litter box. Pick him up, because he was only tiny, he was only a baby, pick him up and plop him into the litter box. But it's not just babies you can do that with, you can do that with any rabbit. They will catch on, hopefully, that where their poo is where they're meant to be going. And it did take, I think it took about 5 weeks really, for him to really catch on. And then sometimes he would go on the floor. Very rarely did he wee on the floor, but he would poo on the floor. So we had to, it was really funny, because Ellie had taken him up to her bedroom, and I go, don't forget the dustpan. So we all had to follow him round, and there was a dustpan in the dining room, in the kitchen, in Ellie's room. There was just a dustpan everywhere. I think I went to Pound Shop and bought 4 dustpans. So we just followed him around with this dustpan. Binky doesn't actually even poo on the patio in the garden. He will go round to his herb garden where there's a litter box, or he'll go onto the shingle where he poos to mark. But even in the garden, he will not poo on the floor. It's amazing. Say bye everybody.